All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, another episode. What up, what up? Who we got in the chat room so far? We got Martin, Felix Flex, what up, son? Alyssa. Oh, snap, I was supposed to set something on the YouTube page. Give me a second. And as I'm doing this, just want to say hello, welcome to the Live from the Lab, episode 6. I am your host. I am your humble host, qunique, Q DeVita. I gotta pinch something real quick. Hold up. Let me go over here. Okay, we're gonna set this up right now. Boom, boom. Yes. Q. Please bear with me. I should have did this earlier. But we are in the room. We're about to get biz. There we go. Done. Okay. I just set up some super sticker stuff. We'll go over that in a second. So here we are live from the lab. I got my cheat sheets just to steer me before I get distracted like a cat with a laser pointer. What up, John Milburn? What's the deal? What up, Anthony? Everybody's getting fresh. Here we go. First, while we're here, I just want to give you, this episode is a special episode, and I'll tell you why. And it's also the reason why I picked the subject. I am finally monetized here on YouTube, which is a big deal, very big deal. It's been quite a journey. I've been really paying attention to a discipline that was given to me by a person I've been working with. Her name is Dove. She is a she deals in all aspects of social media, but YouTube is her main thing. And I was able to work with her for the past 2 years, and it's been quite a journey to get all of these music videos up, these shorts, these live feeds, the storytelling podcast, everything. And as you could see, as some of you have noticed, I've been putting in some work, and it's been a blast, man. It's just been amazing. And now I'm finally monetized. And as you could see, probably could see it somewhere around the YouTube stream right now. We're doing the super stickers. And we set a goal for 10 at $5. And all the money goes right back to what we're doing. So in certain ways, in a major way, you guys become the executive producer to qunique moving forward. So what up, Ed? Salute to you for sure. Big time. So yes, so the super stickers, we got a goal 10 at $5, and thank you very much in advance for helping me reach that goal. We got, we're going to be here for a while. We're going to get into the subject for today, but that's the deal with the super stickers. This is my first time doing it, so just you helping me pay for music production, video production, all of the things that you see that I'm putting an effort into. This is also, along with the streams and everything that you guys have already been invested in as a qunique listener, whether it's merch, whether it's streams, whether it's watching videos, whatever it is, you've already invested time and you've helped the streams move along. I mean, you guys have helped me get to a monetized level here on YouTube, and that's something that I got to applaud for you. Thank you very much for helping me do this, man. I couldn't do this without you, obviously. So that's the deal with that. Let me get my cheat sheets. Okay, I think we're finished with that. We can throw that down there for now. So anyway, moving along. Today's subject, what I want to do today is I want to talk about, normally when I talk about hip hop, I usually go into the golden era or the crack era, which to me is the era that has had a massive impact, not only just for hip hop, well, primarily for hip hop. It just shifted everything. When that era hit, KRS, Kane, Rakim, Cool G Rap, Bismarck, Shan, Roxanne Shante, Super Lover C, Casanova Rudd. You know, the list goes on and on. And we usually, as people that love hip hop, we usually always go to that era. But today, what I would like to do is I would like to fast forward it a little bit and talk about the era that I was a part of. It's this, I don't know what you want to call it. People have given different labels or different labels to the participants that were involved. It's, I guess you could call it the indie underground rap era. It starts to sprout around 1993, 1994, in my opinion. But it's quite a journey, because from my perspective, Wu-Tang, Nas, the entire Gang Starr Foundation, whether it's Gang Starr, Group Home, Jeru, these groups in particular, I feel, are responsible for birthing this, or helping to birth this indie hip hop. Yes, we were inspired by way more groups than that, of course, obviously. But for some reason, when I think of the music of that time and what happened in the beginning and what it became, for some reason I always think of those movements. Well, actually, I got to add two more. So it's Wu-Tang, Nas, the entire Gang Starr Foundation, Boot Camp Clique, and there's Hieroglyphics, and I'm missing one more. I know I'm missing one more, but I think you get what I'm getting at. These groups in particular kind of, I don't know what the proper word is, but they kind of help that's it. They kind of help segue this movement, which I was a part of with the art. Well, starting with the Nomads, as my boy Ed had said. Ultramagnetic as well, yes, because of Godfather Don. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Thank you. They help segue this movement that the Arsonist, Company Flow, Nonfiction, Juggernauts, Sai and Yeshua, Dilated Peoples, The Far Eye, Natural Elements. Look, I'm not going to name every group. I did a post about this, and I will do another post about it. But there's just way too many groups for me to remember. But I think you get the idea of the direction that I'm going in. So I want to talk about how this vibe just happened. And it's kind of like, for me, it's the beginning of my journey after doing some stuff at a more higher level when I was writing behind the scenes and was briefly a part of the whole CNC Music Factory staff. When I went out on my own and I started with the Nomads, that's when, you started to look at the room and see this beautiful underground movement just starting to happen. And just so you know, I am well aware that independent music has always been a part of hip hop. It doesn't start in the 90s. I mean, Sugar Hill Records and I mean, so on and so on. I think you get the idea of where I'm going with that. But there's always been that independent label, Tough City. There's always been that indie label, B-Boy Records. There's always been that indie label presence in hip hop. But what I will say is that in the 90s, being a part of that movement, it felt like there were way more independent records than we were accustomed to. But at the same time, when you look at the history of what was happening, it was necessary that these labels were a part of it. You know what I mean? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to read some of these labels to you. This list was given to me by my homie DJ Clips from the Halftime Radio Show. Y'all know DJ Clips, the legend DJ Clips from Nonfiction, Fat Beats, all of that good stuff. I asked him to give me a list of some of the labels he could remember. And here's the list. Let's see if some of you guys remember these record labels from the 90s. True Criminal, Correct, Fondlem, Rhymesayers, Palace, Official Joints, Official Recordings, DITC, which is also the group that helped segue, the DITC family helped segue the independent movement as well. ABB, Dolo, Tape Kings, Raucous, Fat Beats, Rorschach, Macon, Hydra, Duck Down, Mass Vinyl, 321 Records, Eastern Conference, Beyond Real, Moleman, All Natural, Fat Wax, Brick, Direct, Fortress, Guess Wild, Uncle Howie, Psychological Records, Stimulated, Game Recordings, Def Jux, Baby Grand, Buka Entertainment, Nature Sounds, Nervous, Stone Throw, and Subverse. Thank you, DJ Clips, for that very elaborate list. That was really cool. I couldn't get the printer to print that. I had to read it off my phone. But so those labels are responsible for some of the best underground rap records that had come out in the 90s. And it was just what a time. Now, wait, before I go, I want to, before I can move forward, my man John Milburn asked, "Hey Q, was you ever into breakdown?" I was, briefly. I did a short on my YouTube page, if you could find it. I talk about, but let me premise that by saying I never considered myself a B-boy. I knew some of the basic moves, but it wasn't my thing. It wasn't my lane. Being a part of Rocksteady, being a member, I was an MC in Rocksteady. I'm an MC in Rocksteady. I'm a MC and a producer. I wasn't put down as a B-boy. That wasn't my thing. But I did dancing videos like for Gangstar and Rakim, The Roots, and so on and so forth. So it's funny. Ed. So if you go see that short, I give you a more detailed breakdown of some of the things that I was breaking in. So give it a check if you get a chance. Also, please don't forget, we have a goal set for the stickers. We're trying to do 10 at $5. So thank you in advance. So check it. It should be somewhere on the screen for you to click to check out the super stickers and donate to the qunique movement. Thank you. Okay, so getting back into the topic. Let's see here. Yes, so let's start with what I consider one of the more important. Let me just ready this. I'm gonna get this ready. 1, 2. Okay, cool. So I want to talk about what I think. Look, there were plenty of peace, crazy legs. Ladies and gentlemen, you're just talking about B-boying and my big brother Crazy Legs is in the room. Give that boy some love, some hearts, or whatever you could give him. Give that boy a salute. That's an icon right there, legend right there. My big brother right there. Yes, sir. So, to me, arguably, one of the more important radio shows, the radio show that kind of really set the foundation for our movement, was the Stretch and Bobbito show. Let me see here. Let's see if you can peep this. Yeah, there we go. So there's Bobbito, there's Stretch. These guys, and obviously I don't think it was their plan, but they became the foundation for this underground independent movement. Bobbito and Stretch not only had this massive radio show that pretty much became the most important radio show of its time, but it provided this platform for all of us to just get our records up there, to go up there and spit a verse, to call up and spit a verse. And so these guys have just they have a documentary that you can see. I'm not sure where it's playing. It might be on Hulu or one of those one of those streaming services. Just type in the stretch on. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you. We got our first sticker popping. Thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's really dope. So what I was saying is that the Stretch and Bobbito show just became this super important radio show. And if you go and see the documentary, it's brilliant because they talk about some of the bigger artists that just were pretty much made on this show. Wu-Tang, Nas, Jay-Z, Big L. Like, my goodness, the list is just, the Roots, the list is just massive. What they provided for, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Vicky. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's awesome. That is amazing. Thank you. Stickers are going. Remember, the goal is 10. So what I was saying is how important the Stretch Armstrong and Bobbito show was. Now, for me, when I first encountered Stretch and Bob, I was a solo artist. I didn't get into the Nomads yet. And so what I have here, I have a little special surprise. I have a clip of so this is a little bit after the fact that I had been calling in, giving shout outs. I had went to a couple of Stretch and Bobbito events. I had went to the New Eureka Poets Cafe where Bobbito was a host and signed up to get on the open mic. So I had made friends with them, and they knew who I was. And here, what I'm going to play for you is a clip of me calling in I think this is around 1994, 1995. I was but a young lad. And here's a clip of me calling in and rapping on the air on the phone. Let's get to the clip real quick. Check it out.
Mommy, how's your mommy? How's your mommy doing? You still selling karate movies with no tapes in it?
Hey, yo, let me kick a quick rhyme.
Go ahead.
Check it out.
Qunique is in the house. Bobbito is in the house.
For your inner soul,
Damn,
but I count the flow. Alias the dynamo, the 17th letter of the alphabet comes unique. With the gift to speak, rhyme patterns falling deep. Such and such, whacking seasons here by my touch. Now in the clutch, the lyrics slam like whatever. But never could they ever come better than the one who rhymes got weight like a ton in comparison to none. Evaluate my state to penetrate, it's not worth it. Cause if you try to jerk it, I'll crush your whole circuit. The uplifter comes swifter. Microphone gripper, Groovy Lou got the 22 front, he'll pull the trigger.
Yeah, he rocked it. He rocked it. He did his thing.
So there's a clip. That's a clip from the Stretch and Bobbito show when I called in on the air. It was, obviously I was a youngin'. I don't even think that did I don't even no, I didn't get the Nomads record out yet or nothing. But that was at that time for me, that was a highlight. I remember taping it and going the next day and playing it for friends and being just super excited and stuff. And sorry, I'm preparing my next slideshow for you guys. It didn't go in the order that I wanted to, but it's all good. Oh, okay, here we go. So that radio show was just a blessing for us in New York and the rest of the world eventually, because like I said, it provided this platform. Now, next to this radio show were the venues that also were extremely important for us in the 90s. So to me, the first one would be the New Eureka Poets Cafe. And what it was it was this cafe / really small bar club that on Wednesdays would just get bombarded with just tons and tons and tons of upcoming MCs, poets, and musicians. Everybody wanted to get on that open mic and either practice or show off what they were working on or whatever have you. And the way it worked is you had to pay $5, $6 at the door. Go in, sign up, and just either hope your name was going to get called or your name would get called, and you would go up and you would do your thing. I got some flyers and stuff from that time. Here's one where myself and Destroy, we were hosting the open mic at the Eureka Poets Cafe. I believe the next slide. Let me get over here. I believe the next slide. Yep, that's the Eureka Poets Cafe. That's how small it was. It would have tables. Everybody would sit and get their drinks. And just on the stage, that small stage, you would have a keyboard player. You would have a drummer sometimes, a bass player. It was just amazing. And that place is legendary. I've seen Mos Def perform there. I've seen Weldon Irvin perform, jazz great Weldon Irvin perform there. All during the open mic, people would just roll up and do their thing. Right here, this is a picture of another venue called Wetlands. Wetlands was just a step up, but this is more like if you had a record out and you would, like getting booked to do a show. Myself and the art. Here's a flyer from Wetlands. As you could see, the Invisible Scratch Pickles, the X-Men who became the Executioners, the Arsonists, Company Flow, and Organized Confusion, all on the same bill for that show. That was a crazy show, man. Geez, man, what a time. And so there's a flyer from the Wetlands show. Now next, this is SOBs. Wetlands closed down, but SOBs is still around. That's also in Lower Manhattan. And it was also a place that if you had a record out or you were doing a release party or there were battles or whatever have you, you would come here, or even at Wetlands, and they would host the events. Here's a flyer from SOBs. Bobito during the Fondulum Records, because he had his own label as well. You could see Mr. Live, Cyan Yeshua, the Arsonist, Juggernauts, all performing at this amazing event for Fondulum Records that Bobito was hosting. It was just a special time, man. And now, what else do I got? Oh, okay, that's it. Let's get back to me over here. Yeah, that was cool, man. A little slideshow. Just wanted to give you a little taste. Some of the images that I had. Let me get to some of the. Yep, the Cenobites with Bobito. Yes, that's an ill album. Me being a Fondulum Records alumni, it was an honor to be a part of Fondulum Records. So let me get to Vitamin D. Vitamin D. My brother Destroy. He got some dope bangers out there. How did I meet Ill Bill? That's an awesome question. You know what? It's actually an easy question to answer. I had gotten, Bobito had hooked it up where I would meet DJ Eclipse, and DJ Eclipse would offer me a job to work at Fat Beats. And this was when Fat Beats was on 9th Street on the east side, when you had to go downstairs. A lot of people didn't get to, that was the OG Fat Beats. And I think that same day, Ill Bill started working for Fat Beats. So that's when I met Ill Bill. This is around, I want to say 1996, around there. And from that point, Arsonist and Nonfiction became family. And it was just a really cool thing. Fat Beats, it's dope that you brought that up, because the next thing that I have to speak about is Fat Beats. Fat Beats was just, for those that know, it's just that place, that very important place. You had to go to Fat Beats. Fat Beats. Let me get to my notes real quick. I think I wrote something really nice about Fat Beats somewhere. Let me say that. Let me see. Let's see. Boom, boom, bow. Here we go. Fat Beats was the headquarters, from my perspective, from my opinion. Everything about Fat Beats just made it as important. Oh, thank you, Alyssa, for the sticker. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That's very awesome. Thank you very much. Thank you. You rock. Fat Beats was the equivalent Okay. I think we're having a little bit of a technical difficulty with the stickers, but it's working for the super chat, so I appreciate it. Oh, I think we're having a little technical difficulty with the super chat, but the stickers are working, and I greatly appreciate it. We'll figure that out in a second, so we'll get to that in a second, but thank you. So what I was getting at was Fat Beats was the equivalent of the Stretch and Bobbito show. That's how important Fat Beats became. And it spread, it went into Europe, it went to LA, it went to Atlanta. It became bigger than just being a record store. It became a headquarters. It became a place almost like what you would call like a place of hip hop worship. You know, you would go there, obviously you would buy your vinyl if you were a DJ or if you were just collecting vinyl from your favorite artist. And it could be from the biggest commercial artists at the time, like Biggie, all the way down to the super independent groups like Arsonist and Nonfiction and so on and so forth. On top of that, you could get your graffiti stuff. You could buy your caps for your cans. You could get stickers. You could get black books. You could get graffiti magazines. You could get other hip-hop paraphernalia, shirts, hoodies, hats. Man, stickers for days, posters, and then we would have these incredible in-stores, Gangstar, Eminem, Busta Rhymes, Wu-Tang. Oh my God. It just, the DJ events, the battles, I would hold my MC battles there, which is something that keep on the lookout because I'm going to be posting those battles up on my page in the coming week. So stay tuned for that. But Fat Beats just became the headquarters of our movement, of our generation, of that indie hip hop underground generation. It became the place where people would congregate. People would have rhyme ciphers in the store, outside the store, or go all the way down to West Washington Square Park and just cipher up over there. And just the whole scene was peace, 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 Reef. Salute to you. That's what's up, Ed. That's what's up. Yes, yes. The whole scene was just diligent about lyrics and that boom bap sound. That's the other thing that I wanted to make sure I mentioned. The whole scene. Yesterday I went on YouTube just to start my vibe as I was writing my bullet points, and I typed in 90s hip hop, underground indie, and I just, I pressed play and I just started reminiscing because, I used to play these records for the customers or just, I have some of them in my collection and it was just, what an incredible time. And my instant review was everybody was so diligent about their bars, about the flow, about the production, about that boom bap mentality, that it just like, you kind of like, I didn't realize until I went back and just really, obviously through the years, you still listen to stuff from the past, but I did a deep dive and I was like, wow, man, we were all just like really focused on bars, beats, and just the overall dignity of hip hop. And I feel like the underground part of it is kind of like a weird title to have, because in some cases it feels like a badge of honor. You feel like that grimy, rugged, real. But at other times, I just feel like that word underground kind of like separated and isolated us from what was going on the commercial radio tip. Even though some of us did break through and had our moments, whether it was on a mix show or whatever have you, it just felt like that name at times came with a little bit of a bad taint to it, if you can understand what I'm saying. How did the Los Angeles Fat Beats compare to New? You know what? It was almost a parallel universe, because out there they had their movement, Dilated Peoples, The Far Right, Jurassic 5, Visionaries. Look, I'm not going to say a lot of MC names on this episode, but it was the equivalent. They had amazing in stores. They had, it became a place where it also became a headquarters for the whole hip hop movement in LA. So that is what happened. And Fat Beats, man, it was I usually use this metaphor a lot because of just being there and seeing it, but it hit like a meteor, equally to like the Stretch and Bob show and all of that other stuff. That's just how it was, man. So yeah, Fat Beats, man. I have to give a round of applause and a salute for Fat Beats. They just, what a place, man. And please keep on asking questions. I'm here for it all. We're gonna talk and build about this moment. If some of you remember this moment, if some of you are curious about some of the things that I could possibly remember, I'm here for it all. Other radio shows that were happening along with the Stretch and Bob show that were also important were the Wild Man Steve and DJ Riz show that was out in Long Island. And then there was Eddie Ill and DL, I think their names was, and they were in Stony Brook. And obviously DJ Eclipse with the halftime radio show. All of these radio shows just provided they provided our platform for us. They were our Spotifys and our Apple Musics and our Amazons. They provided that for us. And they were just very, very important for us to get our message across, to get our music out there, and for us to, some of us, like for my crew, the Arsonists, to go on tour and Nonfiction and Company Flow and so on and so forth, to enjoy what it was that we were doing. They helped that, you know what I mean? I got a little picture of myself and Groovy Lou. This is us up at the Wild Man Steve and DJ Riz show out in Long Island. This for people that are looking at this image, this is the Nomads. This is Nomads. The only person that's missing from this picture is MC Beretta, may he rest in peace, and DJ Mel Ice, may he rest in peace. They're not in that picture. But this is us waiting to get on the air. I forgot who took the picture for us, but that's us at the DJ Riz and Wild Man Steve show. Very, very cool picture. Let me see what we got here. What we got. Hey Q, how did you get to be on the look? Oh, because of Ill Bill. Actually, I remember the story specifically. So we were out in LA and we were at DJ Lethal's studio, and I was just hanging. I forgot I was doing something else. I might have been in knee deep in Stillwell, on the planet Stillwell at that time. But I went over to the studio while they were recording. Slane was there, Everlast, Ill Bill, DJ Lethal. I think Big Left was there. I don't remember. And Danny Boy was there. And Immortal Technique was about to show up. So for those that, peace, what up? Fly lady, fly like dove. Salute to you, ladies and gentlemen. Fly like dove is in the building. So I was just laying in the cut. They were finishing up a song. And Slane was like, yo, Q, I know you got beats. What you got? And at that time, I had an iPod. And I had my beats on the iPod. And DJ Lethal had that program where you could pull beats off the iPod and download them to your desktop or whatever have you. So I had the beat, which is now the first song that I did, that I produced and was featured on for the Coca Nostra, which is Nuclear Medicine Man. Myself and Immortal Technique happened to show up the same day. And I believe Sick Jackin was there too. And so Lethal got my beat off my iPod. He threw it up on the Pro Tools and everybody just penned their verse right on the spot. Everlast was the only one he didn't pen. He did the Jay-Z thing where he just sat at the console, thought of his lyrics, and went in the booth and all of that. Everybody else penned. At that time, I was still penning. But So that's how that's my first encounter and chance to produce and be a featured artist on that first La Coka Nostra album. So that was amazing. Shout outs to La Coka Nostra. Awesome group. Awesome group. Awesome. What a rollout for a group, man. I actually did a short on La Coka Nostra. You get to go to my shorts, man. And if you're trying to find it organized, if you go to qunique.com, q-unique.com, the shorts are a little more organized. We could find what you're looking for, what I'm talking about, or you could just go in order and see. But that's the deal with that. What else do we got? Oh, I wanted to show you some of the flyers from that time that I was talking about. These are some of the flyers from this era. Check it out. Really cool stuff. Really, really cool stuff. This one is massive.com, music and sound. You got the arsonist and nonfiction. Hosted by Mr. Len from Company Flow. He used to call himself Space Ghost. Really, really cool stuff. Here's the, we got to get into this. There's the Rocksteady Crew anniversary, the 28th anniversary, hosted by Bobito, Crazy Legs, and Ray Roll. On the wheels, you got Tony Touch, Scribble, Apollo, Charlie Chase, Grand Wizard Theodore. Got Didex performing, Jungle Brothers, De La Soul, Cellar Dwellers, Arsonist, Goody Mob, Bahamadia, Enemy and Hoodstock Crew. Invisible Scratch Pickles, that's Q-Bert. Apollo, Mixmaster Mike versus the X-Men, Rock Raider, Eclipse, and the rest of the crew. Mr. Sinister, you know the deal. What else do I got? Oh, I got Mount Olympus with Cool Kim from the UMCs, Mr. Live, the Jigmasters, Dugius, High and Mighty, Arsonist, Adams Family. Here's another one where we were doing something from Mumia at the Knitting Factory with the Arsonist, DV Alias Christ, Nonfiction, Trigger the Gambler, Dead Presidents, Danny Hawk, Tracy. Yeah, look at this, man. Planet 28, Shabam Sadiq, Natural Elements, Arsonist, Dugius, Dead Prez. So this is to show you, like, as you could see, a lot of the artists, it was like, it was a movement. It was a movement, and we would all just travel in packs to these different venues and do our thing, and these clubs would just get packed, and we would just have an amazing time with this movement. Everybody was in love with the movement. Thank you, Dove. Yes, we were talking about the gold. 10 is the gold. Yeah, Breeze Everflown was the dude, man. We got 4 stickers purchased by Andrea, Vicky, Felix. Yeah, and Andrea again. That's dope. And 1 super chat from Dove. Thank you very much. You guys are amazing. Make sure you ask your questions. Yeah, Breeze Everflown. That's the whole Stronghold Family Massive. Alyssa, there you go. Alyssa was the other purchase. Yes. So it was a dope time, man. And what I wanted to get at, another event that was immensely vital to the movement was the Rocksteady Crew anniversary. Oh my God. I know I got to get a new laugh sample at some point. But you got to understand. So imagine that us, Arsonists, the Juggernauts, Stronghold, the Plague, whoever, we would go to these smaller venues, New Eureka Poets Cafe, Wetlands, Tramps, SOBs, and we would do our sets, and we would share the stage, and we would move. And then the summer would come, and Crazy Legs would put on the biggest hip-hop festival at that time. It'd bring in 10 to 20,000 people to be a part of this hip-hop event. And when I say hip-hop event, it wasn't just the underground MCs that I'm talking about. It was graph artists, B-boys, turntablists. It was the OGs. It was the up-and-coming MCs. It was OG graph artists. So OGs in every element, and then all the new guys in every element, guys and gals in every element, coming together for this movement. And Crazy Legs provided the biggest platform for the summer. And dude, like, he put on arguably the best show of the summer at that time, man. You know, you would see the Arsonists perform, and then you would see like Outkast perform, and then Big Pun and Wu-Tang, and then Natural Elements, Stronghold. It was just KRS-One. It was just amazing. I've been talking to Crazy Legs about possibly starting to throw up some of because he has the footage, some footage, the Rocksteady anniversaries, and it's just beautiful to watch. You get emotional because if you were there, it's just, geez, man, you just trip out, and all the people that participated, some of the people in the audience that you spot, it was just, the entire thing was just beautiful. So it just brought this entire movement together for the summer to celebrate. Now, I don't want to go down this road, but I have to mention that a separation did happen. A separation did happen. And that's why I kind of said that the term underground is like a bittersweet term. Because on one side, you kind of like, as an MC or a graph artist or whatever have you, you kind of like this term because it meant rugged. It meant that real shit. It meant something. But then when the separation happened, where a group of artists just went in a different direction and started putting it on shiny suit. Look, I'm not judging it. I'm not making fun of it. So don't get it twisted. I'm not here for that. I'm not trying to pop for drama or clicks. I'm just telling you from what I experienced. So when the shiny suits showed up and the champagne and some of the production was like, more on the, I don't know what you want to call that. It was just more radio friendly, I guess. And it just felt like there was an agenda, right? Now, I'm not there was an agenda happening. And whether it was a business strategy or whatever have you, a separation started to occur. And unfortunately, it felt like certain things became derogatory. Backpack rapper, underground rapper, and so on and so forth. Lyrical rapper. And they just, for some reason, threw rocks. And I didn't understand it because I always felt like the two sides could just be balanced. I didn't hate on the radio music like that. I might have been annoyed when I was young. I ain't gonna bullshit you, because I just felt like we were being excluded from something that I felt like we put the work in to be a part of. And all of a sudden we were being excluded because of money and because of look and because of, I don't know, production. We would have to have a roundtable discussion, and there would be so many different points of view and perspectives. I just know that I'm just stating what I saw. I just saw a separation start to occur, which is all good. Hip hop became what it is today, and it's massive. And I'm still a part of it. And Ill Bill is still a part of it. Vinny Paz is still a part of it. Atmosphere is still a part of it. Sage Francis is still a part of it. Necro is still a part of it. Dilated Peoples is still a part of it. The Beat Junkies is still you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, people are still in the room putting out quality work. So that's why I don't want to just be like, oh, this sucked, that, whatever. It sucked in the beginning, but we're here now. That's it. We're here now. And so what I see is, moving forward, the players are still there, but that movement has become, it's different. It's different. Like, I have to build with you here. I want to connect with you here. I want to have this individual relationship between qunique and the people that are in the chat rooms, whether I'm doing YouTube Live or Instagram Live or TikTok or whatever have you. If I'm doing any of those, I want to be able to build with y'all and connect And as you could see, I've been putting the work in. I've been dropping songs. I've been dropping albums. I've been staying committed to the mission. You know, there's going to be an episode where I'm going to talk about the mission and where I'm at right now and what has been my motivation today and moving forward and all of that good stuff. But this is where it is. And today I just wanted to just show love and give flowers to a movement that I hold dearly because I was a part of. And I got to witness some incredible people thrive. And look, man, think about it. Talib Kweli comes from that movement. And look where he's at. Mos Def comes from that movement. Immortal Technique comes from that movement. The Dilated Peoples, they come from that movement. Eminem comes from that movement. He started out as an indie artist in Detroit. I remember, I have his EP. He came to Paul Rosenberg came to Fat Beats and did a consignment deal with me to put those EPs in Fat Beats. We were all part of this beautiful movement. But LP from Company Flow, who's now in Run the Jewels, he's from the movement. He's from there. He's from that 90s movement. And so some of these people have had a massive amount of success. I'm not naming everybody, but they've had a massive amount of success. And so that's why I can't hate, because for some of us, it's just a step in the journey. For all of us, I think, because either you're going to go backwards or you're going to go forward. So it was a chapter in our journey. And today I just wanted to show love, just pure love to that 90s hip-hop era. It was a beautiful time. And man, you could do your research. Go check out some of the documentaries that came out based on the movement, whether it's the Stretch and Bobbito documentary. There's others about Ryman and there's other short films or whatever have you. There's plenty out there. All you have to do is do the search. There's a few books out there that kind of cover it. And it was a beautiful time, man. So I mentioned hieroglyphics earlier. I definitely mentioned them earlier. I'm definitely going to have to do a segment where I read off a lot of the names of these, MCs that were just a part of this movement and just made the movement what it was, man. But do yourself a favor, man. Go on one of these streaming services, whether it's YouTube or the others, type in 90s indie underground and just peep it, man. It was a beautiful time, man. Trying to think of funny stories. Oh, I do. I have one. Here's a funny story. Here, it's not like you're not gonna lose your breath from this story, but it's one of the stories that just popped into my head right now. I had mentioned we did a show, The Arsonist, with Nonfiction and Company Flow and a few other Dead Prez. And it was a show from Mumia. I'm not going to get into the history of Mumia. You could definitely look that up. But we were doing a show to raise money, a benefit from Mumia, free him from prison. And Arsonist, we weren't really the most conscious rap group on the planet. That wasn't really our thing. We did get serious on certain tracks, but that was never our thing. That was more like Dead Prez's thing or Nonfiction's thing. They definitely wrote way more about that kind of subject matter than we ever did. But for whatever reason, they wanted us to be a part of this event. Now, we knew Mumia. We knew about Mumia's plight. We knew everybody in the venue. We knew all the groups. So we were just happy to be there. We were happy to help raise money. We were happy to help for the benefit. So whenever the Arsonists were put on, we were just down. We were down to rock, and that's the deal. That's So anyway, we're on stage, and if you ever seen an Arsonist show, it went from 0 to 1 million in seconds, and sometimes it looked like the only thing that could contain us was the stage itself, because it was like contained chaos on stage. We would just go for it. We choreographed a lot of the stuff but we just would fly off the handle because our energy was just so high. And I remember the organizers of the event wanted us to pause in the middle of our set because the organizers were going to play a clip of Mumia from prison. He was going to talk and give thanks to the event, the organizers, the artists, and everybody involved. So we paused. And as we paused, they were supposed to play this clip, and they were having technical difficulties to play it. So we're waiting there, and one of the more impatient members of the Arsonists, Destroy, started to rock back and forth. And he's like, let's go, let's go. And he's yelling, let's go, let's go. And, the sound man is probably getting nervous. Now, his name was Mumia. And Destroy was getting real tense because a lot of just dead air, and we were just all waiting for this clip to play. And all of a sudden, Destroy yells out, "Free Mamui!" Said his name all wrong in a dead silence. And we start, see, the problem is the arsonist was, we don't know, we didn't contain our energy. So we just started busting up laughing while they're trying to play this serious clip. And we're running around the stage like, pointing at Destroy. He's laughing. And this was like a serious, like, they're supposed to be playing this clip of this man in prison giving thanks. And this dude is yelling his name all wrong. But that's just a small, like, little quick chuckle about just a moment during that 90s thing. Look, man, for me, it was an honor to be a part of that movement and to be a part of the Arsonists. I like to think we were an important piece, an important cog to the 90s movement. Obviously, there were some big hitters that came out of that movement, and everybody did their thing. And I got so much love and appreciation for everyone that was involved. And some of them have passed on. MF Doom, who was also part of our movement, who instantly comes to mind. There's so many more. Tame One was a part of our movement. I'm sorry if the names aren't just flooding me right now. I just for the past and present members of this community, for the members that have retired since, or the members that are still moving forward and still dropping dope music, I salute all of you. Thank you so very much. My love is there for y'all. For those that supported the movement, that were in the room, that went to Rocksteady, that went to the events, no matter what state you were from, whether you were from Texas, Detroit, Chicago, Colorado, New Mexico, Portland, LA, it didn't matter. Because the movement went all over, and then it went overseas to Mr. Bongo and DJ Pogo and Tim Westwood out in the UK, and just DJ Noise and Typhoon and the whole movement out in Scandinavia, and just all of these places. I'm getting emotional because it was a privilege to be a part of this. It was a privilege to witness not only my group, the Arsonists, do what they had to do, but just all of these groups just do what we consider just a legendary time, man. It was just, my God, man. Just thank you, everyone, for just, thank you so very much. What we got here? Thank you, Frank Israel. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so very much, man. Beats, Rhymes, and Comunidad. What's up, baby? Jersey City Jeff in the building. Salute to you, baby. That's right, Reef. It was, from the crack era to that era is just a flawless, very, very integral, dignified, just lyrically, just everybody came prepared. You know what I mean? Everybody came with bars. Everybody came with production. Everybody came with graph, turntablism. B-boys were evolving into this superhuman being. It's just B-boys and B-girls. And when I say this, let me correct myself. the women that were a part of it, Jean Grey, Medusa, Essence from the Natural Elements crew, Apani, B Fly, Anomalies crew, just everybody that was just a part of this movement, man. Just I love y'all. From the listeners to the supporters to the artists, the practitioners, everybody, you get my love, man. Thank you so very much. Yes, 90s era, baby. 90s era, baby. All right, so it's about that time. It's about that time. It's about that time. We about to get into the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this. Make sure I got this right. Sorry. All right, so we about to get in the booth, ladies and gentlemen. Come follow me. One, two. Yeah, ladies, some fresh bars. This one, we're gonna get into the Pound for Pound album. It's yours truly, qunique. Oh, snap. Here we go. That's right, that's Torch Some More from Pound for Pound. Let's get back to the desk. qunique. Yeah, son, that was fun. That was fun. Frank Israel, you gotta share them Polaroids, baby. Onyx is a dope rap group, John. Dope. What up, Joshua Duran? Salute to you, baby. So, another thing, I just want to remind y'all that the new qunique merch, Designer Rhymes, is now available at Viper Records. It's also, if you can't find it, there's a link in the description. And also there's a banner on qunique.com that'll lead you right to the new merch. This what I'm wearing right now. This is the Chestnut Checkers t-shirt. Chestnut Checkers from off the Royal Blood album. These are all my lyrics in the shape of a chess piece, the night piece. It's a really dope concept, man. So what else do I got? Check this out. It's the Brooklyn Journal hardcover book. Go write your rhymes in here, your poems, your bills, whatever have you. It's got my lyrics from the Brooklyn verse, the first verse from the BK song from off of Between Heaven and Hell. These are the first verse, all the lyrics in the shape of the Brooklyn Bridge. Really, really cool stuff. What else do I got? I got a Diamond in the Rough hoodie. The Diamond in the Rough hoodie right here. It's the lyrics to Diamond in the Rough right there on the front of the hoodie. Quality merch, by the way. These are all dope material, all of that good stuff. And the last thing I want to show is the Brooklyn tote bag, the Brooklyn verse. Really cool, strong, really cool material. So if you want to peep, if you want to cop, show support, the link is in the description. Get yourself a qunique Designer Rhymes shirt, hoodie, journal, tote bag. I definitely appreciate it. And I definitely appreciate y'all for purchasing the stickers. It means a lot to me. This is all new. Thank you, Dove, getting us off the ground. We are now monetized. Hip hop, that's where we're going. Hit that. Oh, and do me a favor for those that are just coming in for the first time. Hit that subscription. Hit that notification button. Like and subscribe. Hit the notification button. Come back, man. We do these every Wednesday. Live from the lab, qunique. I tell stories. As you can see, I kick a little verse. I share with you some of the paraphernalia and things that I come across. Check out the other 5 episodes that came out. I spoke about KRS-One. I spoke about nonfiction. So go check out the previous episodes. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Really means a lot. This was a special episode for me. Everything from finally being monetized to talking about the era that kind of like help build the foundation for myself and so many MCs that you still hear to this day. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. It's really cool of y'all to come and hang out with me. I'm about to break north. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you guys for hanging out. Remember, come back next week, same time, Wednesdays, 6 p.m. on the west side, 9 p.m. on the east side, and definitely look for your time slot all around and in between. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Check. Just making sure. I think you can hear me. I see the stuff moving, but I just want to thank y'all once again. Y'all have a beautiful week. For those that join me on Fridays in the car, make sure you know where that's at. Much love to y'all. Big peace.